Alright, so on this episode, we're going to take a look at the brakes. The one thing I noticed is when I pulled this truck into the shop and I stepped on the brakes, it was squirting brake fluid out on the floor, and it was coming from the middle of the truck. So I think we've got a leak somewhere in a line, so that's where we're going to start taking a look. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to take a look at on this truck is the brakes. So let's pop this open and see what we see. Well, there's fluid in there. It's actually not bad, so I don't know if somebody just poured some in or what the case may be, but we're going to have to take a look at this a little more and see what's going on in there. Alright, if you look at the way the oil dry is out on the floor, that was the pattern I got when I came in here and put the brakes on the truck. So it was kind of squirting out all over the place, but it was, appeared to be from the middle of the truck. So let's take a look up here and see exactly what we got. First thing I noticed, there's a wet spot on the frame right here. So let's focus in that area. Oh, yeah. If you look right up in there, let me see if I can get the light and the camera up there. You can see there's a wet area on the frame right up in there. So that's where the hole must be. You see, if you look over here, everything's totally dry on the brake line. So yeah, definitely appears it's probably like right in there. This brake line goes back up into here. Alright, well, let's get this replaced. Ooh, it came loose. It's going to be one of those things that it's hard to get the wrench in and to get this thing unscrewed. The good thing is it does appear to have come loose. Oop, this one's dripping. Oh, it was actually dripping at the brake. Yeah, it's coming out right where we thought it was. Alright, that one came off as well. 2 for 2. Now we just got to get the line out of the truck. There's just little hooks that hook that line into the truck, so it should just pop out of those. Just got to get a screwdriver to bend them open. There it is. Drain all the fluid out of it right away. Alright, not too much of a mess. Alright, so right here you can see the broken spot in the line. It's all wet. When I crack the fittings loose, you can see it starting to run out right there. But so we basically just had a rust hole right in the center of the fitting. Alright, so basically just had a rust hole right in the center of the line. Alright, something else I'm going to take a look at under here. If you see this right here, this is the fuel line. That hose is really old and rotten, so I'm going to go ahead and replace it right away. And actually, if you look back here, there's another line that goes off. I think what happened is, if I can find it right over here, I think maybe at one time they had another fuel tank in this truck. But anyway, that line's just plugged right now and it's not needed, so I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate that. So that is actually where the fuel line goes up into the truck, you know, into the gas tank. Go. Now I'm going to get that other piece of fuel line out. There we go. And of course there's a little petrified gas in it. Awesome. That ran down my arm. Alright, now I gotta get some new fuel line. Alright, so it's kind of crazy. Out of all the fuel line we got laying around here, I didn't have a short piece of 3/8, so I had to cut it off the roll, of course. Alright, that'll do it. Easy fix there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start to bend this pipe. I have not used this bender before, so this might be interesting. So the first one I'm going to do is the 90 degree, which is on the back of the truck. Bend it a little squarer than I'm used to, so that's a little interesting. And it's not quite a 90, so I'm going to have to bend that just a little bit more, I think. Okay, that's more of a 90, so let's see if that, alright, that's pretty close. There was some room up there, so I think we're okay. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put that other little jog in it, kind of right here. not much, so I'm just gonna, like, that's probably plenty. So, well, I'm gonna see if this goes into the truck now. These things are fun to start. It's pretty close. We'll see if it works. That's pretty darn close. Now we'll be able to cut that off and wrap that up. So you can see the mark I put right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me shine it. There it is. And those lines do slide just slightly forward and backward, so we don't have to be too perfect on it. So now I got to go ahead and cut that off and then flare the end of it. It's actually a double flare on brakes.
The next day it shows up. But hey, I got one other question for you. I got a old one of my customers is front of the transit's leaking, so it's either a front pump or a front seal. Do you know anybody, trust anybody, might pull that transfer, look at it? Yeah. Look at him. So whenever you double flare, you have to decide how much do you stick out, and this ledge, you put it this way, and that's what you want sticking out. So you pick the proper, and I'm going to show you what this does in a second, unless you've seen it already. So I just snug these up. So what we're going to do now is crush this. You see what I did? You've probably done this, you just don't remember.
I never had this tool. I had a different tool, and it's been 40 years since I've done one.
You might have just single flared.
It was whatever the high school had.
Oh, okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm crushing this.
I mean, I know they're supposed to be double flared, but I couldn't tell you back then what we did. You know, that was a whole different century.
Yeah, you just do it till it bottoms out. Just keep me in the loop. And you just make the best decision that you have. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, I'll keep you updated. Thank you.
All right, all done.
Bye.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Be sure to come back next time. We'll keep working on the old Chevy truck.